Next slide, please. DCEG does use their portion to offer LIHEAP weatherization assistance and LIHEAP crisis benefits for inoperative heating systems. This program is otherwise known as the Emergency Services Program, formerly known as Crisis Weatherization. There are 33 weatherization agencies spread throughout the state to service all the counties. Next slide, please. Some of our statewide statistics from our past LIHEAP season. DHS did receive 504,077 applications for LIHEAP cash, with 58% of those applications being approved. The average LIHEAP cash benefit that a household received was $291. DHS also received 197,049 applications for LIHEAP crisis, with 65% of those applications being approved. The average LIHEAP crisis benefit was $524. In total, LIHEAP cash and/or crisis benefits were issued to a total of 293,216 Pennsylvania households during our last season. Next slide. Now, due to the federal government shutdown, LIHEAP funding has not yet been released to the states for the 25-26 season. And as a result, Pennsylvania has had to delay the opening of the LIHEAP season until December 3rd, 2025, contingent on that federal funding becoming available. If the federal government shutdown would continue, the season open date could be delayed further. The LIHEAP Emergency Services Program will open on December 3rd as well. It is scheduled to run through April 10th of 2026 additionally. Next slide, please. These are the annual income limits for the LIHEAP program. They are based on household size. These limits will be updated in January when the annual federal poverty income guidelines are published. They are set at 150% of the FPIGs, as you can see, which is the maximum amount for Pennsylvania that we can allow. Next slide, please. LIHEAP cash benefits are used to help offset our winter heating costs. Our grants range this season from a minimum of $200 to a maximum of $1,000. Cash benefit amounts are based on a variety of factors, including household size, household income, fuel type, and heating region. The heating region is determined by a formula that calculates which counties are the coldest to warmest in the state based on their average temperature. There are 5 heating regions, and we do have them in Appendix A of our LIHEAP state plan if you're interested. Additionally, we do have benefit tables available on our website to show what people would qualify for using these various factors. And I can provide that information as well to interested parties. Now, in most cases, this LIHEAP cash benefit is sent directly to a participating utility or fuel vendor, although there are certain circumstances when it goes directly to the applicant themselves. Next slide, please. LIHEAP crisis is a benefit issued for home heating emergencies. These benefit amounts can range from anywhere from $25 to $1,000. A household can receive multiple crisis issuances, but cannot exceed that $1,000 for the LIHEAP season. No application for crisis is needed if the household was already approved for LIHEAP, although exceptions exist for households who have either added members or changed addresses, as their eligibility does need to be recalculated. The LIHEAP crisis benefit is issued in the amount that is needed to resolve the crisis up to that $1,000 maximum. For our deliverable fuel types such as oil, kerosene, propane, wood, or coal, the amount needed to resolve the crisis is based on whether the fuel is delivered by the vendor or whether it's transported by the applicant themselves. If it is delivered, the amount needed to resolve the crisis is the amount needed to fill the tank as much as possible with the funds available, subject to those minimum and maximum crisis benefit amounts. For our utility vendors, it's a little different. The amount of the crisis grant cannot exceed the amount listed on a utility termination notice, subject to the minimum and maximum crisis benefit allowed. Crisis benefits can be used for reconnection fees. Next slide, please. A household can apply for a LIHEAP through one of four means. They can apply online at www.compass.dhs.pa.gov. They can submit an application through the mail to the local county assistance office. They can fax or email an application to the local county assistance office, or they can drop off an application in person at the local county assistance office. Next slide. DHS began its preseason activities on August 25th of 2025. DHS mails pre-filled applications and Compass postcards to households who received LIHEAP benefits in the 2024-25 season. These preseason submissions will continue until the program opens December 3rd of 2025. Until the opening of the season, any payments and approval notices will be held. It should be noted that applicants will not be able to tell if they've been determined eligible on their MyCompass account while those payments are on hold. Next slide, please. This is just a look at what the first page of the LIHEAP application looks like for a preseason applicant. You'll notice at the top of the application, a Compass registration number will be provided to the household, and this will allow those households that receive a paper application to submit through Compass if they choose to do so. Next slide. This is a look at the Compass postcard that's sent to households as well. Any households that have submitted a Compass application previously will be sent this postcard. It notifies them that they can apply for LIHEAP before the official start of the season, and their Compass registration number is displayed on the reverse side of the postcard. The benefit to applying online is that information will be pre-populated based on what we already have in the system, making it a quicker process. Users can scan and upload verification through their computer or through the MyCompass PA mobile app. Next slide. This shows the Compass website to apply for benefits. This option is available at the start of the preseason and all season long. So any individual with a household, any household with a registration number can apply through this link at any time while the season is open. And the link is not available after the LIHEAP season closes. In that lower right-hand corner, it shows where they can apply using the preseason registration number. Applying through Compass does allow the client the ability to check the status of their application, receive electronic notices, submit their verification electronically, and update any other benefits that they may receive through DHS. Once the LIHEAP season opens to the general public, the blue Apply Now link will also allow the applicant to apply for LIHEAP without a LIHEAP registration number, and that is the one in the upper left corner. Thank you. The MyCompass PA mobile app is available through the Apple Store and Google Play Store for most smartphones if households do wish to apply for LIHEAP on the MyCompass PA mobile app. The LIHEAP application is exclusively for our preseason applicants. And as noted, it can be also used to check the status of applications or benefits, complete their semi-annual reports, and upload documents to DHS. I'm just going to outline the general application process. Once an application is received by the county assistance office, it is reviewed to determine if it's complete or incomplete. If any verification is needed, a letter listing the needed items is sent to the household. The letter informs the household that they have 15 days to submit that needed verification. They do receive a self-stamped envelope, so they do not need to worry about postage to return that verification. And again, if they choose to do so, they can upload it electronically as well. Next slide. Thank you. LIHEAP applications are approved or rejected within 30 days of the county assistance office receiving that application. And then the household will receive a notice informing them if they are eligible or not, and explaining the eligibility decision. Reconsideration. If an application is rejected for failure to provide verification and that household provides the missing verification within 60 days from the date of their original application, that application can be reconsidered for eligibility. They don't need to submit a new application in most circumstances. Now, if the required verification is provided more than 60 days from the date of the original application, a new application does need to be submitted in order to evaluate eligibility, and new verification may be required depending on what was requested. The easiest example of this is the pay stubs that we may have requested for the household may no longer be in the look back month that we would need to review in order to determine eligibility. So they may need to submit new pay verification in order to have their application approved or denied. Next slide, please. Now, applicants and recipients always have the right to file an appeal and request a hearing about a decision or failure to act that affects their LIHEAP eligibility or benefit amount. An applicant or recipient may appeal decisions of the County Assistance Office or another LIHEAP administering agency that provides services under contract with the Department of Human Services. So, for example, this may include emergency services rejections. There is an exception to this, however. Applicants do not have the right to a hearing if LIHEAP closes because of a lack of funds before the County Assistance Office issues benefits, or if the applicant submits an application after the program ends. However, the County Assistance Office must process a late application if the delay was the County Assistance's fault. The start to an appeal is the hearing request, which is an oral or written expression by a client or a person acting on the client's behalf, exercising their rights to a fair hearing. The applicant has the right to appeal any decision or action regarding overpayments as well. All the notices that are sent by DHS do include a detailed explanation of the right to appeal, how to ask for a hearing, how to prepare for the hearing, what happens at a hearing, and additionally, fair hearing request forms. Next slide, please. We have a variety of information for applicants if they need to either contact us or need to research information about LIHEAP itself. In addition to the LIHEAP applicant hotline, which they can call to request information about the program itself or to ask about their case, they can also go on to Compass in order to, again, access their My Compass information, apply for benefits. We also have the LIHEAP website. The website address is listed below, and that provides a variety to all sorts of information, County Assistance Office phone numbers and addresses in case they need to reach out to their local County Assistance Office. It provides a copy of the LIHEAP brochure in English and multiple languages. Once the program opens officially to the general public, it contains a fillable LIHEAP application in English and multiple languages, information on LIHEAP eligibility, the LIHEAP benefit table amounts, showing the benefit amount based on the user's indicated county and fuel type. It contains our policy handbooks and a copy of the LIHEAP state plan as well. Next slide. We also have contact information for our vendors who we work with in order to help expedite benefits to clients. We have the vendor helpline, a vendor mailbox where they can reach out to email any questions that they may have or issues, and a specific website for the vendors themselves where they can research information that affects them. Next slide, please. Oh, okay. So at this point, I believe you indicated that open questions could occur at the end. So I will pause and let you resume.
All right. Thank you for that, Megan. I will now pass it over to Kristen Kelly from PP&L. Kristen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nicholas. I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Kristen Kelly. I am one of two regulatory program managers at PPL Electric Utilities, and my responsibilities are primarily around our programs to support low income customers. I want to thank Senator Malone as well as the staff for inviting me to speak. I appreciate the opportunity to share this critical information on the programs that we offer to support our residential customers. I'm also pleased to share, just as an update of information which is not included in this slide, that PPL, along with several other utilities, has agreed to begin our winter moratorium for low income customers about a month early. In response to the request from Governor Shapiro. So normally our low income moratorium, where we would not terminate service, would begin around December 1st, and we did begin that November 3rd. So I'm happy to share that with everyone on the call as well. The slides I'm going to share with you today include programs for all our customers, as well as some which are targeted for customers who meet eligibility and guidelines as well. So we'll talk about the ones for all our customers first, and then we'll switch over to programs that are primarily for low income customers alone. Next slide, please. All right, we offer a whole suite of tools and programs on our website really to try and help customers take control of their own energy usage, no matter what time of year it is. I know right now that becomes top of mind as the weather turns cold in Pennsylvania. We think of heating use primarily, but all year round, PPL offers a variety of items to help customers manage their electricity, including dashboards where they can view their daily usage, energy saving tips according to what items they have in their homes, a whole series of rebates. Our assistance programs are included there as well. They can sign up for customized alerts that let them know how much electricity they're using based on thresholds they set themselves, as well as shopping tips and resources to help customers select an electric generation supplier if that's something they're interested in doing in an effort to lower their costs. All of those resources are in one place and an easy to remember web address, which is pplelectric.com seasonal savings. So everything related to energy savings, energy usage, and allowing the customer to manage their usage themselves is all in one convenient location. Next slide, please. PPL also understands that sometimes customers may have temporary difficulty paying the full cost of their electric service, and customers can fall behind on their payments. So we do offer a variety of payment plans, or also like due date extensions or additional time to pay, and those are offered to customers at every income level. Our payment arrangements allow customers to pay off their past due balance in monthly installments over time. So it does help them avoid additional late payment charges and possible termination of service. All they need to do is give us a call, and we'd be happy to set up a repayment plan for them. Next slide, please. We also offer budget billing, and budget billing can be very helpful to customers who do have a seasonal swing in their usage. So, for example, a customer who uses electricity to heat their home, or someone who has a significant cooling load associated with air conditioning, or something seasonal, such as a pool, where their summertime usage would be higher than their wintertime usage. And what the budget plan does is it helps the customer even out their bills over the course of the year, allowing their payments to become more predictable and also hopefully more manageable to fit into their household budget. So, in order to determine a budget amount for a customer, we would look at their electricity usage over the last 12 months and take the average of that bill to set it as a budget payment amount. We do review that budget installment every 3 months as the customer goes forward to ensure that it stays closely in line with what the customer continues to use going forward. So if the customer's usage starts to decline, we may adjust that budget amount down so that they're not overpaying unnecessarily. The opposite can also be true, where if the customer's overall electricity usage starts to climb, we would also raise their budget payment in accordance with that to help them not end up with a large payment owed at the end of the budget year. After the end of 12 months enrolled in the budget, we do settle up. So we would add up all the actual electricity bills and all the budget payments made by the customer. If the customer used less than what they had paid into their budget plan, we will credit the difference back to the account at the end. And if they ended up using more than what we have budgeted, we will bill them the difference, but we will also split that up into several smaller payments, depending on the amount that's owed at the end of the 12-month cycle. Next slide. We also have a special program which is called CARES. Our CARES program is unique in that it offers assistance temporarily to customers of all incomes. So there are no eligibility guidelines for our CARES program. It's intended to support customers who are struggling to pay the full amount of their bill due to some type of temporary hardship in their home. So this is really directed at our well-paying, good-paying customers who reach a bump in the road, something generally out of their control, which makes it difficult for them to pay. And maybe they just need a little extra time to get a plan together, their finances organized, get back on their feet. And the CARES program allows them to do that. We do offer shut-off protection for several months and potentially a bill credit depending on the circumstances and if funding allows. And I'd like to share that we are really leveraging the CARES program currently in response to the federal government shutdown and federal employees who would not normally qualify for our low-income programs with those federal jobs. But we know that they're either furloughed or they are working without pay in some cases, and we are using our CARES program to protect those customers' accounts from termination while they are awaiting, resolution of the federal shutdown, and hopefully, receiving their back pay or returning to work. So this CARES program has really proved useful for us to assist those customers who are in circumstances beyond their control and having difficulty paying. Next slide, please. So next I'm going to shift to our programs for income eligible customers, and we do have several of those to review with you today. We do have an income chart at the end of the slides where we'll show you how each one of these programs aligns with federal poverty guidelines. I do want to just make a disclaimer up front that I noticed late after my slides had already been submitted that the current year's income guidelines are not the ones included in the slide deck. However, they are the ones that we are using to manage the programs. It was just an error in creation of the slide. So next slide, please. The first program that I'd like to discuss is our customer assistance program, which at PPL is called On Track, with the idea of getting customers back on track. It's a payment plan that offers a fixed monthly payment for income eligible customers. And for this program, that is defined as households whose income is not more than 150% of federal poverty guidelines. So the benefits of On Track are that fixed payment, which is a percent of income payment. So their customers' payments are based on their household size and the household income, and as well as their heating source, so that their payment amounts are in line with what their energy burden is. The other benefits of On Track are two. One is that we subsidize the difference between the actual monthly electric bill and the installment amount that we have set for the customer based on their income. And we will continue that monthly subsidy of the difference between the bill and the payment up to a limit, a fixed cap based on the household size and income, as well as the heating source. So customers who heat with electric, who also have very low income, will receive a larger amount of bill credits to help them cover the difference between their bills and their usage. Customers who don't have electric heat receive smaller amounts of credits because they're not using electricity as their heating source, and generally their bills tend to be lower overall. The third and really exciting benefit of OnTrack for most customers is that it also provides debt forgiveness. And this is really the get back on track part. So customers who enter the program with a past due balance are also offered debt forgiveness over the course of 24 months. So if the customer makes each one of their OnTrack payments over 2 OnTrack enrollment cycles of 12 months each, the starting balance that they entered the program with would be forgiven entirely at the end of that 2-year period. Next slide, please. Here's a little example of how that breakdown works, both of the debt forgiveness as well as the subsidization between the bill and the payment amount. So in this example, we'll imagine that the customer is entering the program with a balance of about $730. So for that customer, based on their income and household size, we have calculated them a monthly payment of $52 a month. So in March, for example, if their electricity bill is $135.46, the customer would be asked to pay $52. We would apply a credit for the difference, which would be the $83.46. And then when that customer makes their $52 payment, we would erase 1/24 or $30.38 away from their debt. And as they move forward, that would continue. So the following month, if the bill is 124.05, customer is asked to pay 52. We apply a credit to cover the difference between the bill and the payment. And again, if the customer makes their payment, we would give them another $30.38 to wipe out part of their debt. And that would continue as long as the customer makes their payments. They are required to recertify their eligibility for the program once every 12 months. So a customer actually needs to complete 2 of those 12-month cycles to receive their full debt forgiveness. We work with partners at community-based organizations to process OnTrack applications and enroll customers, normally within 2 weeks of the received application, provided that the customer has supplied all of the necessary documentation, including the proof of their income. So to apply, the customers would need their PPL account number, the names and ages of everyone in the household, and either 30 days worth of income or a 12-month income for each occupant who receives some form of income. Next slide, please. And then the next program that I'd like to discuss is our WRAP program, which is our weatherization program. And WRAP has a slightly higher income guideline than OnTrack. It serves customers whose income is not more than 200% of the federal poverty guideline. We work with contractors who contact the customers on our behalf, and they provide an energy audit for the customer. So what that means is they will walk through a customer's home, evaluate the items as well as the condition of the customer's home, their habits, and help them by providing energy education to help them understand what things they do in the home help contribute to the source of their electricity usage. And then in addition to that education, customers can also receive energy saving measures free of cost. They also receive an action plan at the end in order to know what to do going forward in the home to continue those savings and benefits. And I'm sorry, Nicholas, I think we skipped a slide. If you can go back one. There's a slide missing. Well, I'll just speak to it without a slide. Sorry, there's a slide missing, I think. Move on to the next one.
So sorry about that.
No, that's no problem. You can just move on to the next one, whatever it is, and I'll just speak to it regardless of what it is. Okay. So we'll touch on the guidelines in just a moment, but we do have one additional program, which is called Operation Help. And our Operation Help program is a cash grant program, which helps customers who are struggling to pay their electric bills. They're applied directly to the customer's PPL bill and do not need to be paid back. The funding for Operation Help comes from the company, as well as contributions from our customers, our employees, retirees, and an annual golf tournament, which we sponsor to help us raise funds for this very important program. Operation Help has the highest income limit of our various income eligible programs, and the income guideline goes up to 250% of federal poverty guidelines. So, Operation Help is a really important bridge for working households in particular who make too much money to qualify for on track, but are still having difficulty making ends meet, paying for their basic necessities in their day-to-day lives. We also work with those same community-based organizations who administer on track for us to also screen customers for Operation Help. So essentially, when a customer is applying for assistance with PPL, we're looking at them holistically to see what program fits them best. If they meet the guidelines for on track, certainly we will enroll them there. If that's not going to be workable for them, we might look to see if they're eligible for an Operation Help grant. If they're even over income for that, then we would consider whether CARES would be appropriate, and we can offer them some type of hold on their account. The Operation Help grants can be used to stop termination of service, to help restore service if it has been shut off, and also to help customers restart a payment agreement if they need to catch up on missed payments. So the Operation Help program is a really great program. We're also currently leveraging this very strongly in the light of current circumstances, trying to make sure that we are reaching out to our customers and make sure they're aware that this assistance is available to them. And then finally, the slide we have in front of us is really a visual graph of the income guidelines and what programs customers are eligible for. So the darker blue is up to 150% of poverty, and that would be our customers who are eligible for on track. And then just above that is up to 200% of poverty guidelines, which would include RAP. So all of our on track customers are also eligible for RAP, and we encourage the interweaving of those two programs so that we can help customers not only by giving them fixed payments and debt forgiveness, but helping them reduce their electricity usage as well to try and help them maximize those credits that we have caps on so that they don't exceed those benefit limits. And then finally, to the far right in the pale blue, that's the income guidelines for Operation Help. So you can see that that covers folks of slightly higher income going up to 250%. So it's just kind of a good visual on which programs fall under which guidelines. And next slide, please. And then our application process. So customers can contact us on the phone. We do issue paper on-track applications if customers request. We also take those applications right over the phone if that's preferable to the customer. Applications for on-track, Operation Help, and RAP are all also available on our website. And you can see all the programs at a glance at our Bill Help page, which is pplelectric.com/Bill Help, and all of the programs I discussed today are all available there, as well as links to each application, as well as the income guidelines for each program. So the information is all contained in a single spot that's very easy to access. And I believe that is my final slide.
Great. Thank you, Kristen.
Yep.
So before we get into the question and answer period, I wanted to just provide an overview of how Senator Malone's office can be helpful in helping you navigate these resources. So first, we can offer hands-on support. We can help you work to complete and submit your application. We can also help you check the application status and resolve any application issues that might arise during the process. We can also help you to collect required documents and collaborate with the Lancaster County Assistance Office when necessary. And we can also share official forms and guidance from the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. For the second bullet point, with utility coordination. We can contact utility companies on your behalf about billing issues or shutoff notices that you might have received, and just helping you navigate that process as a whole. And finally, we can offer referrals. We can work to connect you with various customer assistance programs, as Kristen outlined. And we can also connect you to local nonprofit organizations and other local resources as necessary. So with that, I will now open the floor for questions and answers. Reminder to the audience, please keep your questions general and applicable to all audience members. Right. I do have some pre-submitted questions too from a few constituents. So anyone who can answer this, please feel free to unmute yourself. The first question I have is, are there resources to help households understand or reduce energy usage while waiting for assistance?
I think that one would be me. I think that would be a great application of our seasonal savings page on our website, which can help customers in a variety of directions, as well as the bill help page. So both of those are really good resources from a PPL standpoint.
Great, thank you, Kristen. My second question is, can someone with irregular or seasonal income still get assistance?
I'll take that one. So with the LIHEAP application, what we typically look at is an annualized income. Most often, what we do is we take the month's income prior to the month of application in order to multiply that by 12 and annualize the income. But households do have the option of submitting the prior 12 months of income. So if they do have irregular income, we can get a complete look at their income during that time and use those actual pays in order to look at their annual income and compare it against the income limit.
Yeah, I will echo that as well for PPL. We do have means of calculating customers' income, even if it is irregular, sporadic, seasonal, however that might be, so that we're getting an accurate picture of what the customer actually earns in a calendar year. So yes.
Great, thank you both for that. My third question, for PP&L, are there extra benefits available for seniors or families with young children?
So I would say there are not specific benefits that are associated to seniors or to those with young children. However, we do take that into consideration when we are determining eligibility, such as for an Operation Help Grant. So it does come into play, but we don't have specific benefits related to those two factors.
Great, thank you. Um, if I live with roommates, can we all apply separately?
I'm not sure which assistance that question's really inquiring about, but I will answer with respect to PPL, and that would be no. Customers, we have one ratepayer, one customer listed on the account, and then we would include everyone who's living in that household on a single application.
Great, thank you. And the last pre-submitted question I have is, can I submit an application if I've recently moved?
I'll answer on behalf of PPL. Yes, customers who recently moved can apply for any of our assistance programs for which they might qualify.
Great, thank you. Would that also apply for LIHEAP, Megan?
Yeah, with respect to LIHEAP, we do look for heating responsibility. The one thing that anyone who has recently moved would just have to keep in mind is because they're only eligible for one cash grant, for example, per season, If they would move, they would not be additionally eligible for like a second cash grant. So they would need to keep that in mind.
Great. Thank you for clarifying that. Let me see here. All right. Those are all the pre-submitted questions I have. We'll hang out here for a minute or two to see if any more come in. But I want to thank everyone who joined this webinar, all the speakers, all the attendees. This is very useful information as we move into the colder months and prepare for the winter season.